earlier and totally didn't do anything about.
Now I have cat fur in my mouth.
Wow.
Alright, there's the stream. Okay, yeah, it's up.
Indeed, we will let people trickle in as we go here. And Rama will not be joining us. He's had a lot to do at work. I actually don't think... So Lirb's going to be here. Palace is here. It may be Lurb and I discussing it and informing Palace of what we've experienced. It's a book club format, but you don't have to have read the book. So
Lit, because I was in a book club and I never read the book ever.
Hell yeah, gamer.
Got my eggy rolls. Also, preemptive apology for roommate. Sometimes she screams. It's usually
it's fine.
like
Sometimes
enjoy. It's very
usually in
pat-ass.
stress.
I see a pattern
So
in
cool.
no behavior here.
Oh wait, I just did it. Damn it.
What, more Wookiee noises? No, Wookiee is more... Let me see if I can remember how to do this. It's been a while.
Yeah,
When
I
we
can't
put
actually
my egg
do
rolls down. It's a bit like more in your throat than in your mouth, if that makes sense. It's more... Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Yep, that's the Chewbacca noise. Yep.
Ah, damn it. I keep turning into a dog growl. Anyway, though, I'm gonna run and
That's valid.
grab some.
Go get your water. Oh my god.
Not any water pretty much since I woke up today, which in fairness is like 5 hours ago, but whatever.
So the bot's gonna send the at everyone in a bit. I'm going to post the link, and we're gonna have ourselves a little chat about a game called Venetica, where you go to Venice. No one's named Venetica. Nothing's called Venetica. It's just the name of the game, I guess. And yeah. Actually, wait a minute. What is the German word for Venice? Because that could be it. Venedig is what they say in German, so... Alright. Post. I think that we're going to have some smooth coffee shop jazz on in the background here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm going to be off and on mute while I eat these egg rolls because they are in a very crinkly package.
I feel you. This is also the egg roll crinkle ASMR stream. Little known fact. But alright. Hey, Lerb. Hello, friends. Do. And now let's open up the Twitter. Book Cup GIF comes up when I type in Book Club. It's people clinking glasses. Works for me.
What's the point of book club if you're not drinking about it?
Yeah, well, I think Lerv is on that train.
How much duck sauce did this place give me? Okay, not a stupid amount. Okay. I thought there was more duck sauce in this bag than there was. And I was like, oh dear lord, I don't need that much. I also generally don't use the soy sauce that they give me. Vanished to the Shadow Realm.
I need to turn on some more lights, and we'll be getting going.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
All right, Lerv, are you excited? You've trained your whole 30 hours ago of period of time for this. All right. So, let's go. How are we doing, Dreamers? It is time to have the inaugural book game club discussion. I think we begin at the beginning here with the intro of the video game. I haven't taken extensive notes. Much of this will be from memory. Lerb is here to back me up.
And I'm here to ask, why did they do that?
Yeah.
Having not played the game.
And I assure you that there's often not going to be a great message, great answer there. Where would you prefer I type? I am making every effort right now, Lerb, to keep my eye on the Twitch chat. Because here's the thing. You're going to be on a delay either way. The only way you wouldn't be on a delay is if you joined the gang out, muted yourself, and just like heard me speaking and muted the stream. But it's just going to be like a 7-second difference. I don't think it's going to be too bad because we have back and forths when we stream normally and we keep up, so I think we'll be good. But yeah.
Yeah, and I'll keep an eye on chat too because I have 2 monitors, so I can do that.
Indeed. Lovely.
I would like 3 or 4 monitors, but I don't have space.
You gotta start putting them over the clips and clamps and the cranes and such. So,
yeah.
Venetica. So I think that we begin at the beginning, right, Lerb? I will briefly describe. Venetica is a third-person RPG adventure game combo with a fixed protagonist who is a woman by the name of Scarlet. The intro video does not begin with Scarlet, although she's obviously the chosen one is going to allude to. It begins with a diverse group of people in a dark, shadowy room, led by a mustachioed Italian man. As another dude's like, "Is it done?" And they're like making allusions to the fact that they're out of blood and that they are now like unkillable. And as we pan around the room, we see a fairly diverse group of people. And this coming up to one of the Venetica's fun first ones, Orientalism. We'll get to that later. But let's just say we cut out from that on the note of the guy leading. And this, I'm not sure if this is audio editing problem or something else, but like, so there is a woman who has golden rings on her neck, who is evidently from, one assumes, African, and she's saying something. And right as it's like every villain's gotten a little go around on the circle to be like, oh, like here's an allusion to text to something that's happening. And then when she's trying to say something, the villain's like, silence. And the main villain telling her silence doesn't go right over her audio. To the point where, like, I can't even tell if this is supposed to... Her name is Princess Shamaka. Nice. Because this chat's going to cover probably quote-unquote chapters 1 and 2. There aren't really chapters in Venetica. We've broken up that way. I haven't met Princess Chiamaka, but Lurb has at this point finished the game. This is only spoiling up to that point, but I would not consider her name a spoiler. But yeah, so... But, like, her line, we see the full subtext for it, not cut off, and, like, the dash implies it's supposed to go at the end, he's supposed to say silence, but really it just plays over her and cuts to him before the lines get done, but the guys keep going. We already have the jank, like, 2 seconds in here, and there's a vague sense that, like, these villains have achieved their plan, but there is one spark of life which must be snuffed out, otherwise their plans could all be ruined. Oh, gee, we jump to a San Pasquale, village in the mountains, as people have a nice time at night, right before a dude in armor is about to leave town, and his obvious love interest in the white dress Scarlet is like, oh gee, you know, I don't want you to stay. He's like, I'll stay if you want me to, but I want to go be a hero. You can come with me. He's like, no, I want you to go be a hero, but I have to stay in the village. It's where I feel like I belong. And, you know, my man is in full plate armor wearing a cape, and she is wearing a white nightgown, just to be clear here.
She's probably cold.
She's in the fucking Italian mountains, and there's a bonfire, but she's far from it. Like,
she's cold.
Queen has no leg cover anyway. No arm cover, I digress. The fact that she has no protection is literally going to be a plot. They're not going to let you leave the goddamn village until you put some clothes on. So it's not like the game don't know it. So yeah, this is the beginning scene. We have like this, I feel like somebody's playing a guitar. It seems like a chill time in what looks like, if you've ever seen a picture of an Italian Riviera town, it's like that, but it's not down on the coast or anything. It's up in the mountains. Distantly you can see Venice. I don't think it gives you a good shot of it, but we're still in cutscenes at this point, and it brings us into, you know, this little like hackneyed scene of, is his name Martin? Sebastian? I don't fucking know. Spoiler warning, he ain't gonna live too long.
Some dude.
Mr. MacGuffin. I will say, avant-garde and forward-thinking in terms of Benedict, in terms of gender. I didn't even guess right. In terms of gender, to fridge the man within the first 5 minutes. That's not something you see every day. Or Benedette, as I call him, Savage Lurb.
Oh my god.
Sent with fire effect. So... yeah, Benedette here, he's nebulously going to train to be some sort of hero, never really clearly explaining this context, we will learn more later, and somebody starts to scream and explosions start going off everywhere. And at the same time, some assassins pop out, people wearing wonky tall hats like 3 times their skull height, looking like H.R. Geiger might have designed whatever's under that hat and the skull, and they've got these, like, weird, like, stitch-on face plates over the helmets, and they're wearing, like, what looks like dark leather armor in a very fantasy sense. And they're running around. They have, like, these, like, curved blades they like to swing with. We'll get to what they're called for a moment. Cough, cough. Back on the Orientalism track. Cough, cough. And these assassins, as we will refer to them outside of talking about why the name they gave them was bad and wrong, the assassins attack. They're screaming. The first bit of gameplay you get, I think... somebody comes up and yells, Benedict, you have to come help. There's something going wrong in the village. And he's like, oh, I gotta go check it out. Because I guess if there's a nondescript problem in the village, you just go get Benedict because he's the guy in plate armor. But I don't think they mentioned it's an attack until shit starts exploding. And Scarlet, who I will definitely call Venetica at some points in this, because nothing's called Venetica in the game called Venetica. They call Venice Venice. So, like, I thought she was going to be Venetica. She's not. She's Scarlet. By the way, we're going to get to the names of the people living in San Pasquale. She's the only person with an out on this subject. But yeah. Benedict, by the way, well-known Italian name. So you're going to see more of that. The first thing you do in the game is you're on this little, like, house structure, and there's, like, a rope bridge across the other bit of the village, and it's like this little islet of a stone outcropping. I don't think you ever get to go back to that bit of the village. And the first thing you do is run across the rope bridge as fire and explosion happens, and some people on the far side yell, come over here, Scarlet! And I'm not sure why, considering, like, the massacre's going on over there as well. But some people decide to stop to, like, cheer homegirl on here. And as we're halfway across, the church bell gets fucking wiped out by... We have no idea what. There's never going to be an explanation. You never find any siege weapons. There's no mass attack magic that the assassins have access to. Shit's just popping. There's some fire arrows. But something just makes the town bell fucking explode, roll down, kill the shit out of them, and not destroy, but twist the rope bridge you're on enough that you fall down, and then gameplay begins again. And Scarlet picks up a fire poker, gets tutorialized beating down a slightly destroyed door, and then you immediately start shanking bitches. Which, reminder, 10 seconds ago, before this attack happened, Scarlet was the 100% wiltedest of violets. Oh, I'm just a simple village girl who never wants to leave, and I love you, but I want you to go. I'm so selfless. And she's like, okay, I know I was acting...
hashtag not like other girls.
Yeah, I know, like, a second ago, I was just like, you know... I want nothing but the village life. But this fire poker here, I am about to shank to death assassins who have come to wipe out my village. No problem. She's the protagonist. I'll give it to her. But the game gets points here because they will later address why the assassins were defeatable by the villagers. And all the villagers are just like, from the time you start gameplay, wailing on them with whatever rusty sword or whatever they have to hand. You kill some fools. You get the tutorial of combat. You walk outside. And from there, you
do some stuff.
So from there,
tutorial.
It goes to a cutscene. You get, like, outside the house that you beat in the back door of. You come out front. You kill some dudes, and then it goes to a cutscene. And Lerb, do you remember? I think. I should have taken better notes on this intro, but I don't know if it's like Scarlet's getting killed or Benedict hops off of a like low-lying like dugout like embedded into the side of a building, like runs along a shingled roof that's like halfway up, right? Hops like half a story down in full plate with his sword to kill the shit out of an assassin who's about to shank Scarlet, and he's like, "Oh, Scarlet," and he's like, "Oh, Scarlet," and she's like, "Oh, Benedict." And then one of the assassins, who at no point prior to this look like they're going to throw their swords, is like back here. He's winding up, and as Benedict sees the wind up, he's like, "No!" And he hug dives Scarlet again in full plate, like. But you know, we'll ignore that. The assassin full sends their curved sword. It lands in Benedict, piercing.
So I guess.
I think it slides, in their defense, I think it's depicted as, like, sliding under a crack in the, like, back left shoulder, but no way in hell they aimed that shot. That's like when one time I threw a frisbee and it flew perfectly through branches, like, 30 feet above me and came back down to land in the other person's hand. It was a cool shot. No way in hell I planned that. So, it's not fucking, you know... But honestly, I think they might have stuck it in his back. But yeah, no. It magically slides through his armor. He's like, "Ah!" And it's like, "No." And he's like, "I love you." Now, previously, there had been a line of dialogue about Benedict was something like, "Oh, well," and he's like 5 seconds of characterization, said something like, "I think it might be easier to go fight evil villains and be a hero than to give you everything you deserve," to Scarlet. And he fuck my man says, "Turns out it was harder than I thought," as he fucking dies.
You know what? He gets points for that.
Yeah, Beneded did have a sense of humor. We do give Beneded those points.
He gets points for having humor on his deathbed.
Yeah. I think that assassin was the only one in the entire game who put points into the throw weapon skill. Abso-fucking-lutely. And as we'll learn as we go through the game, you do gotta be spending those skill points, though, to be able to do shit. This is the tragedy And there's been lots of panning around the village during these cutscenes, right? It's been a little hit or miss. I guess we sometimes hit, for, I believe Deck 13 made this game. The game studio is still around. They make some games called The Surge. That's kind of like a cyberpunk Souls-like. And, yeah, basically, this all happens, and this is when the dream happens, right, Lerb? Now we have to get into the journal. Because the journal in this video game will spoil this video game. You will not know something in the game. Check your journal to see what you're doing, and it'll tell you something like, Death told you to go obtain the Moonblade. You're gonna go to this weird green realm that looks like, I think it's supposed to be stumps, but it almost looks like it's the inside of a cave with stalactites, stalagmites indifferentially up and down. It's this green-yellow filter world. They pop the camera back, and you talk to this dude who looks like, honestly, some sort of, like, Cthulian high priest, who you will learn swiftly is Death, and who refers to you extensively as my daughter. No spoilers here. Yeah, so he's like, he does the generic, I know everything. But we don't have very much time, so I can't tell you. And that back and forth goes a bit, but he's like, now tell me, do you want revenge on the people who killed Benedict? Or do you want to bring Benedict, or do you want to see Benedict more? And I'm just flabbergasted by the idea that this is like the emotional, this is the first dialogue choice you get in the game. You can be like, I want to fucking kill the people who killed Benedict, I want to see my lover again, my love Benedict again, or, I don't know. First dialogue choice we get, it's a Mass Effect style wheel, and I'm just wondering, if I could get my loved one back, sure, killing the other guy is a consolation prize. But why would that be something I prioritize, even if I'm a vengeful dickbag? What? Anyway, it's a very interesting, emotional question, which will be, I believe, the driving force of the ultimate choice between two endings. Lerb has seen that, but that's not where we are in the game for this chat.
This already sounds like a hot mess. Oh my god.
Yeah. So you have this chat with Death.
You have
this chat with Death, and we're about to get the money shot of Venetica that makes me actually think that they have some directorial chops. Because after your chat with Death, where he's basically like, you must seek the Moonblade. As this, like, thing she has to obtain. Seek the Moonblade and get to Venice to defeat the undead Archon. Hey, Fangirl Review, we're doing a little game club. Also, Fangirl Review, if you like people talking about games, doing crafts, doing all sorts of stuff, the fucking bot is down. Go check out Fangirl Review. She's got a Twitch. You can click her name. You can see all of her cool stuff she does. Much love to Professor White. I hope that the paper grading ain't too hard. As a former student, I know students can be up to some nonsense.
Yeah, Godspeed on that grading. Oof.
So you come out of this death dream with Death. You don't know that he's Death yet. Other than, like, I think Venetica says something later in terms of, like, felt like I was talking to Death himself. You wake up, and it's like a picture out from, of Scarlet in bed. She wakes up, and the camera goes, whoop! And it shows you panning through the busted open hole in the house you'll walk out of after this. Like, the smoldering wreckage of the next day. So they D&D village, their D&D backstory, her village. But the people survive, and she walks around the next day, and that's going to be the setup. It was so nice to be like, it was a dream. And what she's going to say after this, and I think should have gone when she was on the bed. And then it just, beautiful zoom out, shows you like, oh no, this place is fucked, homie. And you immediately talk to this old woman, who you discover is your adoptive mother. She says, alright, you gotta get out of town. They were definitely here for you. They were after a foreigner. Or a stranger. They alternate between saying stranger and foreigner for who the target was. Apparently, they were looking for the one person who was unexpected here, although we will learn that somebody else in town, like, has a mom from quote-unquote the Orient. So, I don't know how they're defining that. Anyway.
Wait, what? Oh.
Because the gate guys,
right.
somebody says, spoilers for the Orientalism section. Someone says, oh, yeah, the assassins from the Grim East, and they say what they say, which we're gonna get to. And the next gate guard says, "Oi, me mom's from the Grim East." And it was this interesting moment as I was grappling with, should we do Venetica? Is it a redeemable off game? And I'm like, they are calling this guy on his shit in the text. But then that same dialogue goes on. He's like, yeah, well, like your mom or your dad or whatever parent was is an assassin, are they? And he's like, well, they never mentioned it. I'm just like, what's going on here? But yeah, so the immediate conversation with this lady, you have several options. You can ask about the town, you can ask what happened. She's like, you gotta get some real clothes on, so get your ass to the Smith Mateo. You don't gotta get the moon. She doesn't remove the Moonblade, but you can. She's not gonna be happy with you for it. You gotta get out of town. These assassins are definitely after you, and I tried to hide you, and I'm sorry, but it's not gonna happen. And ever since you abandoned here, I've like treated you as my own daughter, blah blah blah. She doesn't abandoned, but left. And you can ask her, and she's like, it would do you no good to speak of it. When you try and be like, okay, so like, what's my mysterious backstory here, adoptive mother? Do you no good to speak of it. So apparently it would do her no good to speak of it. Oh god, Leon, the fucking adopted younger brother. We gotta get to Leon. Not introduced yet, but anyway. You can ask her about the Moonblade, and she's like, how dare you bring up that cousin thing in my house? And I'm like, is it really like under your roof if the roof is open though?
Oh my god.
But anyway, she's like, maybe Mateo will speak to you of such things. The Mateo, we're going to learn, is a bad man for several reasons, including one of which almost made me not pick Venetica. Because of like a really dumb throwaway line he says. Or the game treats as dumb and throwaway. Anyway, we were pointed towards Mateo for 2 out of the 3 dialogue options we have here. You asked her about rest, and she's like, here's a tutorial for the fact we have a day and night system, sleep in the bed. Also, don't go out at night. Demons who can be not touched by mortal weapons will be out. Ooh. And I'm like, okay, I played D&D. I understand some creatures are immune or resistant to non-magical weapons. Fair enough. I've been told about the existence of a magical weapon. I'll keep my ass in town during the day. For testing purposes, I tried to go out at night. I don't think that there actually are the monsters wandering the town, wandering the mountains at night. I think they're only in a special area that I don't think it'll let you enter until you have the Moonblade anyway. But I digress. I tried through my first playthrough, because I played through a bit, then I played through on stream. I tried to just go out only during the day. You could sleep at the bed to heal up, because I don't think there's natural health regen. You got to eat something or sleep. So welcome to dungeons with beds in them that you can just rest in often, because that's the design they were working with. I can't fault the level designers for that. They do what they can to make it make sense. Like, there's a mine where, like, the workers area has a bed. Fair enough. I wouldn't suggest sleeping in a mine for a wide variety of auction-related reasons. Fair enough. Like, you bust into one place where there's a guy who's been imprisoned. And that happens towards the end of the section we'll talk about. And he has a bed in there because they've been, like, keeping him here for a while and trying to interrogate him. Black Long Inn, yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
And so that's the introduction to the village that you get from Grandmama. I think she's got a name you can see when you like have the left click to talk to her. She doesn't say it in dialogue. You run and you can talk to her about your strange dream maybe, but she's like, yeah, don't go out at night in the mountains, but do get the fuck out of town. Talk to Mateo. You walk out of town. Some people come up to you. Some people you can talk to. You get some options here, like, do you accept this person trying to give you what ducats he has left to help you because you helped save the town by fighting? Because like, it's kind of implied, but not, like, fully stated that, like, Benedict, the melee trainer, and Scarlet were, like, the 3 heavy hitters of the village. Even though you see, like, every Mo, Dick, and Larry, after the cutscenes, trying to swing on the enemies. It's implied that the 3 of you really, like, carried the team for the town defense. So they're like, hey, thank you so much. I also hear you probably, like, want to skip town because the assassins are definitely after you. Here's what little money I have. You can say, no thanks, you can accept the money. I think you get skill, I think you get XP if you say no thanks. There's a reputation system that is only active in Venice for if you do crime or nice stuff. Because it's only a reputation in Venice. I'll give it points for that. It makes way more sense than a nebulous reputation where it's like you could teleport across the continent and be like, oi, I hear you're a bit of a dick. How do you know that? You just saw me, you don't know who I am. You have a bit of the man of the dick about you, you know, like in Fable. It's like, fair enough
You
then.
know.
You know, your alignment is bad, so you have the storm clouds. But yeah, I think it's XP or gold, and it doesn't tell you you're making that choice up front. There's a guy who offers you an old amulet. He says you could sell this or keep it with you or do whatever. Maybe it'll help you with the old windmill. And I'm like, oh, okay. I told on this item because I'm like, normally in Venetica, if an item is only good to sell, it'll tell you that. It doesn't say that, so I kept on to this item. I still don't know if there's a payoff for it. At the windmill, I couldn't find anything to do with it. But he's like, yeah, head on down there, and probably want to go out of town. At some point, someone yells at you to be like, hey, just so you know, the whatever brothers blame you for the death of their loved ones and the attack on the village. So you definitely want to skip town and not run into them. They're nowhere to be found in the village, but don't worry, we'll be running into them one way or the other. We go to Mateo. He's got an open inn. He's got an open, like, busted in, like, blacksmith with, like, a hole in the roof. He has, like, a lot of, like, he's clearly supposed to be a comic relief character because he says he tries to give a dry delivery, which he does a pretty good job with. Like, saying, he's like, oh, my apprentice came down with a bit of arrow sickness in the corner. As you can see, there's a bit of a draft. Like, you're sort of, like, making sardonic light of the fact that, like, his smithy is destroyed and his apprentice is dead.
Okay, we all have our coping mechanisms.
Yeah, so he's coping. We ask him about clothing. There is a clothing system in Venetica where, because most of the stuff you loot is fitted for dudes, maybe all of the armor you loot and almost all the people you kill, except for that the boss, at least, through what I played, the only enemies we had were all male or monsters. Don't know what the monsters of the gender, you know.
The gender is monster.
The gender is monster. To be fair, mood sometimes. I can vibe with that. But the you loot the armor off dudes is unfitted, right? So whether it's because they're dudes or because they're like just like differently bodied from you or whatever, or because they're not going to give you the same armor as the NPC, spoiler, you have to go back to Mateo and you have to pay Mateo a fuckload of ducats to like fashion show redo this armor. So I mentioned earlier there's a tall hat on this armor, right? That the assassins all have. Only the master assassins will drop their armor when you kill them. But when you do, you can take it to him, and he is like, oh, let me alter this to fit your size. He turns the face mask into your left pauldron. And, like, redoes it to have, like... The leather armor doesn't have heels. The clothing you're going to get from, quote-unquote, his daughter's dress does have heels. But the leather armor doesn't. It's got, like, kind of passable front fantasy leather armor stuff. I know, I like the nice touch, though. But it is like... Mateo's like, oh, I don't really know anything about Ultramps. The Smith who happens to have these adjacent skills. You know, I mostly work with metal, blah, blah, blah. And then he's, like, going all out. And, like, there's a little fashion walk in when you get the new outfit. So clearly this was supposed to be, like, a feature that they brought attention to. But when you scroll around to the back, the leather armor has a deep-ass V-cut. Like, that isn't even centered on her spine, but, like, down to the hip. In her leather armor. Yeah, not a feature of the assassin's garb, in case you were wondering.
That's squishy bits.
Uh-huh.
That's ribs.
But one thing lots of people...
You can get to the kidneys through those.
Yes, you can. So one thing that a lot of people will bring up to Venetica is, like, yeah, like, if you try and walk out, the gate guard guys who have the, like, I think their names are Kazim and Tinker. Ed has, like, the douchebag who says stuff about the Grimiste. They'll be like, oh, yeah, you definitely got to go talk to Mateo and get some clothes on. Because you're wearing in the fall, your nightgown ripped. Now, you might be assuming, oh, God, because, like, what I've told you this far. But it's actually just kind of like the hem is kind of, like, ripped a bit. And, like, it's a bit scuffed around, like, the top. But it's not, like, in a revealing, like, hentai game kind of clothing. So, it points to whoever made the variants on the nightgown showed considerably more restraint. I think their energy went into the boss battle at the end of the section. And the mistress's attire for her human section of that boss battle.
The mistress is just horny. Everything about her.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that from the name alone. Like,
yeah,
you tell me you have a boss named the Mistress, and I'm like, oh, she's horny.
Yeah, no, she's horny.
Not the way you expect. Like, she's not wearing leather. She doesn't crack a whip. But yeah, she's the mistress of assassins.
Well, she does turn into, like, a slimy, shiny snake slug monster, and I feel like it's a special kind of horny, specific to, like, me people.
Nice. I was about to say that's a Pat brand of horny.
No, exactly. It's somehow a me brand of horny, even though the rest of the game kind of doesn't show it at all.
Wild.
Cause I do think these other villains do have like names, but she's just the mistress.
Delightful. This game definitely loves women.
Yeah, so
This game doesn't hate women.
we're gonna get to the sexism part, but it is really feels like the writing overall feels like it's this tug of war between like a very this game came out in 2009, a very like 2000s. Oh, the Doge is the Doge. I mean, to be fair, Doge. Insert Doge meme here. He's also the undead Archon. It feels like how there's like a kind of like pretty straightforward but not inherently bad narrative that goes something like a bad guy says, "Oh, you're a girl, you're weak," and then the female protagonist is like, "No, I'm not," and then beats them, and that's that. That's the analysis of gender present in the text.
Man.
Yeah. Oh, I mean I would call that one a well executed example, but
yeah.
That is a well-executed example, but
I don't think they executed that. I ain't saying they executed that well.
Yeah.
There is a little bit of that with some of the barks from the enemies, and some of the dialogue. I don't think anybody in town is like, "Oh, you're like a weak woman. I underestimate you." The brawler is like, "Oh, your technique is awful. Let me show you how it's done. You got to analyze their positions." But he doesn't bring that up. But like, I can't. I think some of the villains are at least like, "Get that girl" or something like, or there she is. But like, there will be kind of like illusions, and I wonder how far they're gonna go with it. But yeah, like overall relationship with women, not great. On the one hand, like, women are much more likely to be named and non-generic than men. But that's kind of because this world has a weird gender ratio.
Okay.
Like I think 80% of the people you run into are dudes.
Also, if you name said female NPC, the players have more of like a chance of getting attached to said NPC.
Yeah.
So it can be sad when you kill that NPC and fridge her.
Yeah. And thus far, one boy fridge, 0 girls fridged. I mean,
the ratio's looking pretty good so far.
Hashtag
I will
feminism.
give the game that. Hashtag fridge the boy.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And not to say that it was great writing here either, but at least it ain't in the other direction, because I would not have played this fucking game. I wouldn't have bought this fucking game if it was the other way around and Scarlet died and Benedict lived and she was just a motivator. Fuck no. Not an interesting story. Not interested.
Yeah, been done. Been done. I'm sure it's been done well, but it's also been done very unwell. Many
Enough times we don't need to see that no more. I personally, it would not have caught my interest the way that Venetica does, because it has so many interesting ideas. This just came out in, around, it's like Gothic and Fable had a baby.
It is kind of the gender swap of that, though, in like a doesn't analyze the trope at all kind of way.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that they touch on without analyzing it. I think that some of the sexism and Orientalism is like that. So as we go through San Pasquale, the first, 2009 game, the first thing that Matteo, other than Matteo being like, "Oh, you can't go out in that," is like, "Oh yeah, I think you should go get my daughter's dress." No mention of whether or not his daughter has survived the attack, or is out of town, or is in town. I could not find his daughter. He just told me to go to his house, go to a chest in his room, and take his daughter's dress out of that chest and bring it back to him so he could refit it so you could wear it.
Wild.
And then he proceeds to make comments about his daughter gaining weight, which was
one of the things that almost made me be like, I'm not playing this fucking game. Because I was just like, what the fuck? Yeah, she's away. It's just a weird thing to say. Like, Matteo's supposed to be a dick, but of all the ways to be a dick,
you could have picked a different way.
You could have picked a different way, really. I think it reflects the fact that I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I don't mean to defend the product as it exists, because we're analyzing the text as it exists. This is just a furtive glance at maybe what might have happened. I get the feeling that if a different writer had written that dialogue on their team, he wouldn't have said that. Because I get the feeling that some of the writers were, not in a great way, groping towards a, shall we say, better analysis of like the gender situations at play, and had probably a very 2009 like German dude video gamer idea about it, but it wasn't like you know, OG, you know, like we're gonna give her -5 strength because she's a woman or some bullshit like that we know gamers love to do. Like,
Yeah.
I think that there were some people on that team.
Yeah, why does that trope exist? Fucking Christ.
I don't know, but they
Because
sat down.
women, their bones are hollow. They're birds. They're
I
weak
hate
little.
That's it. Yeah,
I
they're
hate
so
it so
flighty.
much.
Oh my god.
Ugh,
They're delicate little birds.
right?
Fucking kill me.
Right.
God, hate that so much. Sorry, I'll shut up now.
But yeah, it does sound like this writing team has a bit of a mixed bag, shall we say, from the description I'm getting.
Yeah, and like I will say this, some of these like faces look like Play-Doh, but like some of them are actually animated surprisingly well for 2009. And Scarlet, I will say this, like a lot of her outfits, like we're gonna get to the clothing outfit you get from what is supposed to be a dress. My man's like, oh, I just had to make some small alterations for size. My man gets you like a whole corset, like slinky see-through sleeves, and then the town outfit with heels from his daughter's dress. So like, yeah, it's a mixed bag, Lerb. What was I saying? So like, yeah, he's got the fits, and like he's just, he makes you this outfit that you have to go get for him. He says some things that make me like really not like the writing team and the game, but he gets. I think that there's got to be pictures of this online. I should have taken more screenshots. There are the videos. Is it? Yeah, a lot of these screenshots just seem to be her in the outfit. But like, not that you would wear this at any of the points they're showing you wearing it, because like it's not good armor. But yeah, here's a front shot. Hold on. Copy image address, paste. I thought one took the dead mouse though. I don't have any screens of the game.
I took one of the dead mouse. Oh.
So, this is her fit. You can't really get the full turnaround as we did on stream. She's wearing pants.
I appreciate the pants.
I don't know what the frill around like the unbelt is with like the horse livery stroke medieval tent edging. She's got the sheer sleeves. As you can see, she's got like a pretty serious expression. Like
yeah, this screams very 09.
Yeah, but like she has like a not the most expressive face, but at least it's not like she's a little damsel in the very intro cutscene, but after that she doesn't damsel again in my estimation from what I've seen. I know Lerb if there's like another bit you can think of, but like she's pretty stoic and like either like by her choices driven to get Beneded backed or kill the shit out of his killers. Like you could do
I will say the opening cutscene is kind of off-puttingly damsel-y, especially considering how she is later. It's just like
immediate hard turn.
This definitely did not need to be here. It doesn't match with any of the characterization that comes later.
Which comes back to the conflict because like she's like her default expression isn't like it's like it looks like she's about to fucking sock you. And like not in like or like she's like seriously considering some like puzzle she's looking at. Spoiler warnings, many 4-digit fucking puzzles in this game. She's not a douchebag. She's not like some of the other NPCs in the game who are like, fuck you. Like she's not impolite, but she is serious. And between that and like the hard verge from damsel and the fact this game has a fixed female protagonist at all, it feels like they try to do the delicate flower and then it's just Lerb. I think Lerb is gathering her thoughts on So there's a comment the mistress makes later. Oh, am I forgetting a mistress comment?
Oh.
Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, so do you know how to kill? Oh yeah, no. Like that was so weird. Like, if I'd be able to kill, it's like, yeah, no, I have murdered like most of your employees. You have to go put out like a job fair ad for new assassins after I'm done with you, even if you kill me. What the fuck do you mean? Do I know how to kill? I am like ankle deep, no, thigh deep in your fucking blood of your employees, lady. What do you mean? Do you know how to kill? I killed the shit out of your people. And we learn, okay, so like, all right, I'll step back to how we're going through the town, right? We go to Mateo. Mateo's like, say yes to my daughter's dress. Bring that back here. Fix it up for you. Put you in this John right here. And now you can walk out of town because the gate guards let you pass because, I say gate guards, like there's like a small bridge over a little stream and they stand close enough together that you could still walk by them, but there's an invisible wall preventing you. You walk out of town. Look around, like, there's, like, you walk through, like, a bit of a place where there's an upper town and a lower town. There's, like, a really nice mill but you can climb up these ladders to go all over the roofs of this destroyed town. There's no running, there's no jumping, but they do a good job with verticality despite the limitations of forcing you up ladders. There's an upper entrance to a mine you can't get through yet, so you have to go to the lower mine to get up into it, but it's a nice bit of, like, future traversable options. Decent verticality for 2009. You will hear a weird echoing to some of the volume, which feels like it could be volume mixing, but also is kind of like pretext for what comes next, a little illusion. And you have like the ruined church. You come next to it, and you hear like the whispers of the dead, like when you like stand near it. Nice audio cue. And it's an illusion for something that's coming up because you walk out, right, and you come to this little intersection. This might actually be where you have the talk. Is this where you have the whole talk with death? Or am I imagining it gets split up between here and the bed? Anyway, you walk to this little intersection that you're forced through, basically. There's a little side passage where there are assassins. I don't think you could walk up it right now, though. And the two McMurder brothers, alluded to earlier, shank you in the fucking back. One of them comes up in front of you and is like, what are you doing? And one of, like, the worst bits of... Not worst, but, like, funny bits of directorial displays here. It's like, you see one brother, you see the whole area, he's talking shit to you, and he says something really menacing, and we hard cut in, and apparently some dude's just teleported off screen, or done a sonic sprint off stream. This dude's right behind you to shank you. You hit the dirt, bam, dead, and then weird stuff happens. You get back up, because you have this thing called Twilight Energy, and when you have enough of it, you get respawns, basically. Yeah, slasher movie teleport. And because Venetica is, spoiler but thing we basically learned through the journal by now, the daughter of death, she has necromancy powers. And all of her mental skills stem from that. Even when it's cool stuff like sending a raven to fly ahead of you towards your quest objective. Fun fact, the raven has to obey, like, walkable, pathable areas, so it won't just, like, fly down as the literal raven flies. It'll like, zoom downstairs. It's kind of funny.
That's good.
And... yeah, so they're like, oh shit, we didn't realize you can respawn. You must be the protagonist. Please forgive us for murdering you. I realized we murdered you because other people were trying to murder you and were mad that our loved ones got caught in the crossfire, which, you know, fair dues, I suppose. You know, they're driven by grief and trauma, and I buy it as a reason. I don't think it's the best
cool motive.
Executed.
Still attempted murder.
Yeah,
right?
You get the moral choice of either killing these guys or letting them go. Lurb, I don't know if you ever saw any payoff for either decision. First playthrough, I killed them. Second playthrough, I let them go. Nobody seemed to mention the fact that I minted 2 fresh corpses outside town. They skip town if you let them go. Or at least, they walk off stage left never to be seen again. Nothing ever, yeah.
Good shit. That's what I love from games with choices, is nothing happening from them.
Indeed. So, from a little bit from town, there's a way down. Someone will run up to you. I don't know what the trigger is. I think maybe it's getting your clothing from Mateo. And say, your adopted brother Leon has gone down towards something creek, which I thought was an extension of town, but really it's just like the ranger's mansion down there and like woods. So basically, your adopted brother Leon down in the woods. You didn't know you had an adopted brother before someone comes and says little Timmy fell down the well on you. He's not established. He's not present with your adoptive mother. Your adoptive mother doesn't mention him. Just,
congrats, you have a brother now.
Little Timmy fell in the well. You got to go down there and help save him. And he's really mad that you helped him fight. And he's like, you never let me do anything. Wow, I'm a teenager. And I'm like, you were just fighting for your fucking life with 2 assassins. What the hell? And like they're literally just like taunting him, like, "Ooh, what you gonna do, little man?" He's like, "Yeah, I can do it." And like I don't know what Leon is supposed to be, audience surrogate, attached, like who you're supposed to protect, like a send up of like the furtive fictional version of this story where you had a fixed male protagonist who like had a motive because his adoptive sister got fridged. Like I don't know. Leon's just a kind of little shit. I can't think of any other children you met by this point in the game. There will be another, but like, he's kind of a little ungrateful shit. And no matter what you say, you can like 2 of the 3 options are like ribbing his ass right after you save him from murder. And one is just like, I just don't want to lose you. And he's still an ungrateful shit either way. Anyway, you save him down the woods. But there's the mines, there's the mansion down in the woods, and there's a little offshoot away from all the other quest locations. No quest takes you here, but this is where you get to kill the guy who gets the leather armor. You can sneak up on the assassins talking. There's one master assassin, they're ribbing them, and basically you learn these guys are all interns. These are all apprentice assassins who were going to get their stripes for successfully wiping out the target. And the reason they were, like, dumb enough to get wiped out is that they decided to only send in apprentices.
Wow.
I don't know why, because as we will learn, there are a lot of... they're supposed to have come a great distance to be here. But you will find that they have, in Venice, a significant operation with many higher-tiered, better enemies. Where this master assassin guy...
that costs money. That's an investment to send out. The interns, that just means you'll have to get more interns to get your coffee.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're
unpaid.
They were paid in exposure to Venetica's blade. Anyway, so it's a fun little explanation. You also learn that in the world, dialogue loops until you change the state of the NPC. So if you listen to him chewing out the intern and just wait late enough, the conversation just goes around and around. So it creates this weird situation of like they put a good bit of dialogue into these barks, not barks, but like these loops. So you have to wait there and wait until you recognize like the beginning of the dialogue to go in. Very Ouroboros dialogue writing. Anyway, I rolled up on and killed him. There's like an urn to sell. There's a dude you have to kill. You don't have to kill these people. It's actually a whole optional side place. But that's how you get the leather armor. You have to get 500 ducats and him. All these people drop their weapons. Initially, there is a woman in town who's like, "Hello, I love to buy copper ore. Town is ruined because we don't have any big, strong men to work in our mine anymore." Or I don't think you push it quite like that, but she's one of the women of town. She's a merchant. She has a name. It escapes her at the moment. She's one of the only women only one of the NPCs here, along with Matteo, gets introduced by name. She's supposed to introduce her, I think, to the mechanic that some merchants will buy some goods for more. Spoiler warning, don't sell all those antique coins and frescoes until you get into Venice. But, yeah, she's like, I have a sword you could sell. It would be way better than that poker. But, like, the first time you kill an assassin, you're going to be able to get the assassin's sword. Or when you go to the melee trainer, he'll just give you one for free without killing anyone. So, yeah, which would you could over your character dialogue between water and enemies? Yeah, they only say it once. Yeah, I mean, it is easy to miss the dialogue entry entirely, and Venetica is a steeply stacked world with verticality and dense streets once you get to Venice, so it makes sense that they'd have the system work that way. Or maybe you like come through the woods just enough to hear the brothers talk, but you go to the mine instead. You don't want to miss out on their whole dialogue and have them sitting there silently when you come next time. I see why they did it, yeah. Not the most sophisticated solution, but hey, it works. So we go from town into the mine. We should go from town. There's a few quests before us. There's the fact that things are wrong in the mines. There's the fact that Matteo alludes something about like the miners in the mines knowing more about the story of the Moonblade. And there's Matteo who was like, "Hey, I think I saw the ranger is dead, and I once saw he has a pair of pliers over his because his pliers are broken. He's like, I need those for my smithing, right? I think I saw them over his fireplace. Maybe you could go... They're more like big tongs. Maybe you could go get them for me on account of you won't be needing anymore." So Matteo, upstanding guy Matteo, who also has life goal and now quest in your journal to open a new smithy in Venice. Cough, cough, wonder who's going to help him with that. Because he could never afford it. To go engage in looting of his dead neighbor the day after so that he can get some tools.
Wow.
So Matteo sends you in the direction of both of the major quests here, which is meeting the brothers who you'll travel with to the windmill. and who can carry on the strong tradition of how long males who travel with you survive. And
Oh boy.
and that's why Mateo probably never walks alongside you. He's like, I will let you leave, and then I will go. I will not be staying next to you, Scarlet.
He's just like, you have main character energy. I don't want any of that shit.
Yeah. To be fair, I believe they are Mateo's pliers. Oh wait, well, why are they Mateo's pliers if they're in the ranger's house above his fireplace? I assume that was just how he
borrowed them and never gave them back, I guess.
Oh, is this a village grudge paid off? Like, well, I suppose he's dead, so I'll now go take them back. I thought my passive-aggressive mentioning of it would pay it out. Turns out I'll have to wait till he's in the grave. Anyway, so you go to the mine. There's some guys to fight. It's important now that we zoom back to the town. There's a dude. His name Brawler. I need to be better about my notes. He's just called Brawler. He's like a fighty guy. He's like, you got terrible technique. You gotta learn to fight. And you can spend your skill points at him when you level up. You mostly get XP from either discovering new locations or killing people, or sometimes in dialogue for completing quests. And you, oh my gosh, I engineered ways I could talk about mistresses for an hour. False! I'm not talking about mistresses. The mistress is coming up at the top of the next hour. But how we do the chat, though, so just to touch briefly, Brawler introduced the fact you have to talk to a guy who has the skill training, and then spend skill points at him. You get the skill points for leveling up. You have stat points you can spend from your screen. The stats are mental fortitude, or mental strength, wisdom, constitution, strength. Con helps your HP, strength helps you hurt people. I think mental power is your mental damage, and maybe wisdom is your mana. Right now, the only mental power ability you have is sending a raven off ahead of you, and it's free. You go down in the woods, you kill some assassins. The quests branch off in the direction of into the mines, where you talk to an owner of miners, like, oh no, things are bad. All of the miners are dead. Can't work the copper mines, so industry is gone. We'll have to leave town. Oh no, we need more guys. Might be a quest later. There's a bed there at the Black Lung Inn. He won't give you a quest initially when you first meet him, but he will, if you talk to him about the Moonblade, say, we used on digging machines, which are like weird steampunk things that have tubes attached to them, implying like a boiler. The most advanced technology I've found is in San Pasquale's mine here. I don't know what's going on with it. It almost has like a Unity asset store vibe, but it's not a Unity game. I don't think that was a thing at the time. These weird like digging machines that look like this could have... Venetica was once a steampunk game. Really cool like drill bit like things. Anyway. Apparently they breached something and found some old ruin. You go there, it's like this weirdly nice, like, courtyard with these skull pillars all around. You go through some, you have, like, a little, like, seance where you wind up meeting Benedette again, who's dead. He's kind of distant, doesn't say that much, but he's like, I'll always be with you, helping you out. I watch you always. And, Death also reiterates the line about how Benedette will always be with you. And you get an ability called the Passage, which is really fucking cool. You basically enter the space between the living and the dead. When you're limbo mode, people can't see you, and you can find these nexus portals that take you to realms of the dead. These cool little extra places. If you go back to the church, remember I mentioned the old dead sounds? And the fact that some people had this weird dead echo to them. I think because you were semi-stuck in the passage before you got shanked. You can go teleport to a room, get some nice stuff, nice little side content parceled out that way. Nexus portals will also give you extra ways through dungeons. And yeah, it's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely like a cool ability. You can go invisible and come up on people and attack out of it. Very nice ability. You use it to reach some moon ore. You can do this in either order, but the moon ore on its own does nothing. Oh, it gets more expanded too. Very nice. When you go to the house, I'll do this quick to give Don Barlonian, whatever the other brother's name is, bad guy, good guy brother, bad guy player brother with the Robin Hood hat and the pink red duds, and serious bald green robed brother. One of them's named Don. Is one Vincent, maybe? I don't know. Point is, they're outside. They're so hopped up about... They were coming to visit their dad. Now that he's dead, they're like, well, we have to get the will to handle the fact of his death. Although I don't know if they were coming to visit him before they knew he was dead, or if they just saw smoke and were like, Dad's probably dead, let's go get the will. but they're in dispute over who's going to get the house, and neither of them trust the other. And the guy's like, I'll let you go inside. All right, if you lose your weapon, huh? And you take your clothes off, so you can't stuff anything in your pockets. He's like, well, fuck you. So, like, they're just, like, arguing outside infinitely in this loop. You come up on them, and they're like, oh, a third party. You could go inside. Be careful. Our dad was really paranoid and probably has some puzzles inside. And and they're standing next to some stones in, like, a 4-digit pattern. Especially if you look at them from, like, the balcony up above. So they'll die like, hey, see anything? The camera lingers over it. Not bad directing. But basically, this man's house is like an antechamber with a cart that is too small to fit through his door, a door locked, a metal grate locked from the outside where his bed and kitchen are, an upstairs fireplace, chill-out place next to some cobwebified, like, barrels. Bear in mind, this guy died last night. His place is spooky, covered in skeletons and bones and cobwebs.
He just really loved Halloween.
Yeah.
God, yeah, his house is a fucking nightmare.
You're just Jack
like
Skellington.
that dude did not live there for a long time before we got there.
So he was chilling. You have to do a little like do. So you take the poker off the pliers off the fireplace. You do a little 4-digit combo. It pops out. It reveals to you. It reveals to you a. I don't think you can get the leather arm until you bring him his pliers because he needs it to work at something. I don't know. It's House in the Ended Bug. The Ended Bird. Yeah. It pops out the will because it was hidden under the mantelpiece by the poker bit for a little 4-digit combo. You take it down and you bring it inside. I feel compelled to mention because there's a mess here. When Venetica reads a book, she goes into a bookcase. She picks up one of the books for 10 seconds, puts it down, and immediately the entire bookcase is ransacked. Everything is opened up, thrown on its side, pages getting ruined. So she just tears through to get a single journal entry, and that's how books are read in this game.
I mean, I'm also very feral when it comes to books that I like, but respect the books, woman.
Yeah.
Hi, Fiona. Hi, Kitty.
Scarlet not respecting the books. So you peace out. You find in the deed. You pop out and it's like one guy wants to. The guy who's given the house in the deed wants to turn it into like an inn with some nice ladies. I don't know what he's implying there, but he's a douchebag. Player was like, oh, I got all the ladies, and this other dude's like, what the fuck are you talking about? The other brother wants to turn it into an orphanage. Dad left the whole thing to like Mr. Player guy, who's either going to tear it down to sell the wood or turn it into a CDN. At the point you have like, oh, I don't trust you to read it. I don't trust you to read it. You, Scarlet, third party we just met. Not only have you trusted that you've retrieved the will, read it to us, sight unseen. And you can lie to them, or you can tell them the truth. Either way, you can say it's split. You can say it goes to orphanage guy, and they mentioned, like, in parentheses, wants to build an orphanage. Or you can give it to douchebag guy. I felt at this point that Scarlet would tell the truth. Also, it's an incredibly verifiable fact with a piece of paper in my hands.
Yeah.
So, and they were not trustworthy, so they immediately would have asked to see it anyway. So why shoot my credibility with them? You got to town, but they take you in. They show you the lockpicking minigame. You don't get to play or learn yet, but they show you it's like a 4-digit combination. They go click, click, and you see the minigame played before you. These like 4 colorful lockpick tips going. Do you vote for Den of Iniquity or Orphanage for the poor children? Yeah, that is the question, Lerb. Yeah, quite the. Somebody was like, we need more dilemmas in here. We can't really pay them all, but make them big, guys. Make them feel impactful. There's a school of writing that like you can make dialogue impactful, especially like a BioWare game, but giving the exact same response by giving the players feel agency. This is how you do that. You go inside, on a mantelpiece, you find the fucking Moonblade. It is you have a different set of skills for it, so you can't block with the Moonblade until you've got that, and Brawler won't teach you it. It's like a scythe blade that's just been given a handle on it, but it's turned actual war scythe direction. Interestingly, it looks a lot like the Assassin's Blade, but the handles on the Assassin's Blade are turned at a 90-degree angle. So you have to hold it in like a funky way, like she's doing, or actually no, is this the Moonblade? No, they have the regular handles. The Moonblade has this handle. When you kill people with the Moonblade, you get your Twilight energy back. So the way that you are able to respawn is by killing people with this Moonblade. It's got problems.
I'm trying
with
to
its
wrap my
uses.
brain around how you would use that. Like,
You were
well,
left it. You were left it in your will because in that guy's will it says like there's a treasure lost that goes to the person with no family or whatever. So you get the yeah, it looks like a scythe without the half. So it's supposed to be like you're the daughter of death wielding this scythe blade, but they didn't want to give you a. They thought it would look cool. They thought she looked cooler like this. What can I say?
Scythes are cool, but kind of impractical.
Right.
But like with that, I'm just like the only way, because it's not bladed on both ends. That is definitely like a guard thing that like extends around the back of the blade. I'm like, you have to like hug someone and just cut their neck.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm about to be right back. I'm feeling the food fatigue. We have about 50 minutes left allocated for this stream, and I want to get us. This is quote unquote chapter 1. We'll get to the windmill. The windmill's shorter. I'll be right back.
Alright. I'm puzzled over this blade. This does not seem like a scythe at least is long, so you can like block with it like a polearm maybe. I don't know. But God damn it. Eric is rubbing off on me with like the weapon snob TM. Oh yeah, it does seem pretty thematic, but I'm just like, how would you use that? Cool vibes only take me so far now because like I LARP and like do stuff like that and actually look at weapons and how they're used, and I'm just like, oh, the vibes don't carry it anymore. Oh no, my cool stuff. Yet I still have a character that uses dual whips because it can. You only ever used it when you had to. Amen. Yeah, I feel like normal swords would do a better job of sorting than that. Much better at the slashy, stabby, hacky. But that does look cool. Because katanas are cool, Herb. You gotta buy them at the mall. There's mall katanas. God. Because it was 2009, Lerb. It was 2009. Balanced longsword in the item name and description. Okay. And the icon makes it look like a regular sword. Then you equipped it, and it was a katana. Amazing. We love to see it. Though all of the equipment is kind of weird anyway. That, at least it's par for the course. Consistently inconsistent. I like that. Not like as a thing in a game, but like the phrase is very fun. Four, technically 5 weapon groups. Okay. Swords, Moonblade, which is its own thing, delightful. Spears, and hammers. But axes are a subgroup under hammers. Oh my god. That's... No. What? Okay. Maybe they could only fit so much in the UI or the menus or something. I don't know. I don't know. Someone made that choice. This is generally the use of hammers. Hello, welcome. We're talking about, I'm blanking on how to say this word. Venetica, the video game, which I didn't play. I'm the audience surrogate.
Veneria? Venetici. That one.
That one. Got it in one.
I'm very good at this.
You're very good at this. Yeah, Lee is off getting food right now.
Yes. Wait, so with whom are we talking about? Because I'm actually cheating on us right now. Let me actually slip into our chat again real quick.
Oh my god. Are you, were you in Garblag?
I mean, they're playing a game that I'm usually involved in, and it's very entertaining. I feel like a jerk, but yeah.
If we really stop to think all weapons are just a stick. That's a stick with rubber band on it, Lerb. That's what a sling is. It's a stick with modification.
True.
Everything is stick. Floppy stick. No, that's something else.
That's something else. Stick with rubber on it. That's also something else.
Yeah, I have no self-control, and I bought another tarot deck.
Oh my god, amazing.
In my defense, it was really pretty. Huh?
Oh, you bought another tarot deck.
Yeah. It's really pretty.
No.
So... Here, I will, how the fuck do I link from the Etsy app?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm back. How's it going? Dreamers?
Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, wow.
Hello.
And this is why it's talking. So, there's one thing there I was reminded of while I was upstairs, which is important to note. I think I've alluded to this. This is a foreign text in translation. Foreign language text in translation. Flit or whatever it's called, because this is originally a German game that is localized for English. So, some dialogue flubs we might attribute to a poor localization, but that doesn't change how it comes across. So, town names, the brothers. Okay. You get the Moonblade. You have some talks with, you have a brief reunion with Benedict in the Dead Realm. Beneded. You kill some assassins. After the brothers get the will thing resolved either way, they're like, oh, you can join us for our travels. You join them on their travels. You go to a cave with monsters you can't kill if you haven't gotten the Moonblade yet. Hey, B. Carlisle. What up? We're just talking Venetica. Talking an old video game. Doing a little game club for it. The brothers, Don and what's-his-face, like, we can't kill him. What do we do? And there's two little imp things you beat up really easily with the Moonblade. And that's it. Those are the monsters that they're talking about. You kill other creatures, you kill stuff in the mine. Mine guy, by the way, you're walking on the way out.
Wait, it's really just two imp thingies?
When you're on your way out, he'll be like, oh, by the way, could you help exterminate all of the monsters in this mine? There's a skill that Brawler will teach you where when you loot a dead animal, you can get its, like, hide or whatever. If you don't have that when you go in there and exterminate them, you're missing out on quite a few ducats. Interesting, Calv. So yeah. That's San Pasquale, because you go to the past, you go through this hole, and dude's like, oh yeah, an old guy, using the generic old guy 3D model, without a different face. One side, he's like, oh no, my cousin Rupert died. Please, if you could get the amulet that he kept from his family, I would keep it as a souvenir. It would be a great solace to me in this troubled times. And it's like, okay, it's crazy you said that to me as you ran out from a place being attacked by, I guess, demons, but whatever. Interesting to note, the assassins also mentioned having trouble getting word back to Venice because of the monsters in the past. So it implies that these aren't a result of... I mean, these aren't an intentional thing being controlled by the assassins, or at least they don't give a shit if their interns get caught in the mix. But yeah, they're just three little dinky imp things after all the talk of, oh, monsters in the mountains. It's no Final Fantasy boy band adventure going out of the night. And Lurb says, oh yeah, LOL, at this point I was expecting, like... a big boss fighter, maybe like a tough mid-boss, yeah. Some sort of beast. Yeah, you know. Well, it is like a pair of Morrowind scamps, except scamps are harder to kill in Morrowind because you need silver weapons. I guess you needed the Moonblade for this. Anyway, you kill him, you get through. You enter onto this epic journey with these two dudes. You go to the next zone. We enter Chapter 2, the windmill. We see Venice now. It was far in the distance. It was a beautiful shot. Far in the distance before. Now we can see it. It's in sight. The bridge is near. Going through this, like, amber countryside. In the, I mean, there's a day-night cycle, but it sets you to that time of day. Of, like, dawn or dusk. And, assassins are running at you guys. You kill them. Mr. Pink outfit jackass brother is like, oh, you spent time... There's a row of cows that stops you from progressing until you talk to your companions. And, well, the dudes aren't going to last too long, Calf. And the dickbag is like, oh, well, you spend some time working as a farmhand, and you grew up, didn't you? And he's like, oh, fuck you, we had the same education, all the same stuff. And then he, like, yaws a cow out of the way. I'm not sure why they chose to have that be the delimiter, but you run forward, fight some more dudes outside the Windmill Tavern combo. And then you go to a cutscene where people look around, and then one of the guys, Don says, like, look out, or something, and then dives, pushes Scarlet out of the way, and boulders crush both of the brothers. And
literal rocks fall, you die.
Yeah. And it's like the audio on it is, and like, there's not bodies left over because like the rocks stay on the cliff face, but like, they teleport you from a, like, there's an inn, windmill thing built up on this huge cliff thing with a cool wraparound passage down. The far side of that, it teleports you from one side of it to the far side of it once you finish a fight, cash it up to them. So it's like, it's a weird disjointed thing that feels like they threw it in when they cut the brothers. They're like, fuck these, no more brother content. Now, you see the bridge to Venice, but the rocks are in the way. And, you just gotta go into the inn and be like, hey, what's up? You get attacked immediately. The assassins have decided to take all the people in the inn hostage rather than just kill them. And they hop you and kill them. get a key, you free them, you find out the owner of the inn is a dickbag. The guy who was supposed to train Benedict as a member of the Holy Order is here, was waiting for him, has officially failed his job, and because in the Holy Order, if you ever fail, you're kicked out, he's like, well, I'm now in exile. Here, take this letter to let them know that I fucked up. And it's like, what? Very nice idea for the tavern. I love the, like, it's like got like the turn mill and the apparatus above you, right by this cool curved bar. There's an upper seating area. It's overall quite nice. Working mill wheel table. Yeah, you can see little bottles on the mill wheel going around. It's really nice, honestly. It's like a lazy
That sounds
Susan.
really fun, actually. That sounds like really fun, like, design.
Yeah, like the windmill wasn't low effort. Not much happens here, but it was
damn if it doesn't look cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Meet some dudes. The guy also says, "Oh, by the way, I know that the innkeeper steals from the people here and hides it in a hidden room. It has a 4-digit combination. The 4-digit combination is thus: you go up on the second row, you press some bricks, you get into the room. It has 2 beds in it, in addition to chests full of stuff. You cannot confront the innkeeper about the fact that he steals from his patrons whatsoever. But he does ask you to go get some pigeons of his back, because if he had his messenger pigeons, he could alert Venice. You could alert people in the city to come, like, send stuff. There's another dude in the inn who just talks about him having been a sailor. There's, like, some, like, a local color. And the other guy will train you. The moment you do the first train dialogue, he teleports down to a beach side. So you don't get the experience. If like me, you ask for the training before you've gone outside the back. I was waiting for Beck to get some exiled now, yeah. He's teleported you down some ruins on the beach, down a significant cliff area to walk down, which is like a pretty epic wraparound of this like standalone stone pillar that's like bridged by the like off the back of the windmill apparatus. And you go in, right? Go down. You're on the beach. Life's a beach. And he'll train you to do some stuff. Importantly, he has Moonblade skills. You could learn about every other kind of thing, hammers, spears, regular sword stuff, from the other guy. But this guy will teach you Moonblade skills, which basically unlocks more left-click combos, which you're really going to want, because it's the only way to fight the boss. And you'll want some hammer combos as well, for reasons to find out. You go off, there's a brief quest chain here involving a guy you don't know, but says he watched you play as children. And you're like, oh yeah, well the guy I was playing with is dead. And he's like, oh, well that's sad. And if you go swim out, there's swimming in this game, and get him one of his oars back, or an oar back, he'll be able to take you around. There's 2 locations. One place where the dude who stole the pigeons is, another place that is just the end of this section, boss battle. It takes you to Venice. You go into this water gateway, because apparently there's no public parking in Venice. This old ancient water passage all sealed up and made into an assassin base. Oh, I think Venice, but the only place I can take you is this Den of the Evil Assassin Lair. Is that okay? So the only place I can afford parking. And, yeah, like, there's the quest with the pigeon is basically just resolved as a going back and forth, like, all the long walk around all across a beach, after a long spiral ascent, and a loading screen in and out of the windmill. Be like, oh, okay, you want the pigeons. Oh, talk to the guy. He's like, fuck you, pay me. I didn't steal the pigeons. Also, are you here to kill me? You can be like, yeah, fuck you, I'll kill you over some pigeons. Venetica. I think it's in the description. Is it not in the description? Have I been streaming the Venetica GameClub stream without the word Venetica on it?
No, it's in there.
Yay. Anyway, so you
You might want to like put quotes around it to differentiate that it's a title next time.
Oh, good, Kelv. Yeah, no, Kelv, this is my first time doing a Game Club stream. A lot will be different in the futures. I remember my first time doing like a Midway Chat. Got 30 minutes left. We've got to get through the end of this. So, okay, the water passage, whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, you can go there. I don't think you have to resolve the pigeon situation first, but basically, you're stuck going back and forth between him and the other bastard. for what amounts to. You can just talk to him, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I guess I totally did lie." Like, well, it's sort of a misunderstanding, by which I mean, I don't actually own the pigeons I sent you to kill the guy for. Yeah, take some money and pay for it. Fuck it. And you can go pay for the pigeons. You won't see the payoff for that before the battle. I think it's another quest that you can take you back to San Pasquale. You go in this water area. The dude's like, "Hey, I can sell you lanterns and fish oil if you want." And you go inside. You fight some people. You fight your first dude with a hammer. You loot his hammer, and it lets you break down wooden doors. Nearest wooden door, you find a dude wearing an outfit who's like, "Oh, I didn't tell them anything I know about necromancy because I know they're bad guys. But you, person who just bursts in here with a sledgehammer, you seem like a great gal. So I'll teach you mental skills, and this is how you learn your first necromancy attack spell of I summon ravens. They hit you." It's now occurred to me that ravens are carrion, and maybe that's why ravens are the thing you summon. But it just kind of feels like necromancy. You know, the one you use to summon birds?
Ravens are, I mean, they're in the crow family, they're in the corvid family, but they are also extremely intelligent and also will fuck your day if you piss them off. So,
Indeed. I would normally not put summon.
then we have that awkward moment of someone talking to Lee at the place where
Perfect.
he is. And then he runs away. Pat, we have to entertain chat now. Necromancy. Yes, that's my form of magic. Oh, you have big carrion crows there? Nice. Our crows are just normal, like small to medium, like bird. I don't think we get many ravens around here. We do have red-tailed hawks around where I am. And I'm pretty sure I saw one when I was driving to the grocery store the other day with like a mouse in its talons, because I was like, that's a bird shape, but there is something hanging down from its little feetsies. And I was like, oh, that bird got food. Oh my god. Watching a flock of 10 of them harassing the magpies. I mean, magpies are also little bastards, so you know. Quoth the raven. Ah!
Alright, we're back. We're in the dungeon.
Welcome back.
So you enter the world of the Venice through this little underpassage because you're not yet in Venice. You kill a lot of assassins. There's a new special assassin who's really tough. There's a new special assassin with a hammer. The master assassin, who is the leader of the interns, is like a common enemy here. I think they still have some intern guys. You run upon the cowardly cook. I mean, the dungeon is interesting. There's multiple ways to the end of it. And basically, you meet a merchant there who's like I'm an arms dealer. Anybody would sell to both sides. Yeah, but hey, you want to buy something? You try and go down the main passageway and like a portcullis drops on you. There's the option of doing a 4-digit code to get the little winch thing to put on it to be able to like open up the portcullis again. You can go through a teleport zone. I think you can go through like a cracked area. You meet what are they called, Lurb? The like glowy spiked crustaceans that will kill you in like 2 shots. That like the hammer fucks up really bad, but every other weapon like it shrugs off. Using the passage or going through gripper hell. The grippers. Oh my god. Yeah, absolutely fuck your day up. Oh, my coffee shop. Yeah, the manager. The coffee shop music is tough. Oh, cooking a gripper, nice. It's probably like a big shrimp. Damn, I need that in garlic butter. Fuck. Fun fact, the way they give you the combination is a food recipe with a 4, 3, 2, 1 in it. So, yay. So you go around, it's it's this base. There's lots of like canal boats here and areas that don't seem like they should be able to go through. It's not clear what this water passage was. If it was some piece of infrastructure that's been covered up. It was a very get your malice moment, Malice. The dungeon is, generally speaking, pretty open-ended. There's several circuits. You have to progress along like one of a few ways. But yeah, there's 3 ways into the boss room, which is nice. You always fight the boss. She teleports around, throwing down... Okay, no. Hold on. Stuff happens because Leon shows up. My god. Alright. Point is, I'm trying to think of other things. I would say, this is your first time meeting somebody from the Net of the Mask, which is a faction. One of the 3 you could join. And this is your first time meeting a Holy Order guy, other than I guess Beneded, who was hoping to join. And so you before this section is out, you'll have met members from 2 of 3 organizations. They have the random merchant, the arms dealer guy. You have to find a lot of antique frescoes because I guess like art dealing is the side business of the assassins. Anyway, you go in to the boss room after you go through this expansive underground section. I don't even know what the cook will do for you if you let him live. I did. And you kill some grippers, you kill some people. You have a hammer. There's one that won't let you sell at this point. Gives you the key. And when you get to the room, when you get to the boss room, it's like this huge circle up with all of these like very artistic awnings around the side. And it looks like it's like a inward-facing Tower of Pisa with a dome at the top. And it's like water. It's an inverted tower with water flowing over the floor. There's like some wooden struts, but there's no way to climb up. When you first get there, at the same time that you come in, 2 dudes walk in and they're escorting Leon. He's like, "Let me go," and they're like, "Ah ha ha," and then you fight him, and Leon immediately disappears. But he gives you a note first, a letter saying something about how, "Oh, I'm gonna go be in Venice." I don't know. It was really weird. I don't know why in the letter why he handed it to me in the middle of that fight. He gets throwing starred and then like poofs out of the fight, and I don't see him again until I'm in Venice. Because the mistress appears from above, says some shit about, "Oh, you can fight, but can you kill?" After we've killed again, metric fuckload of her boys, and then the fight happens. The fight begins in 2 phases. There's the phase where she is alive and up top, and you have to run around these wooden struts she's throwing stuff down at you from. She's immune to all your ranged attacks in both her forms, so you can't, as I thought you would, send your Raven's attack. You have to take your hammer, beat down the wooden struts. It's pretty nice dischargeable stuff for a 2009 game. Then beat her down in a fight. She uses lots of throwing stars and then some melee. When she goes down, it pops out to the dead realm, and she becomes a boar worm banana that peels out to reveal a sexy but tittied torso only because the arms are missing snake lady who spits acid.
Indeed, to be clear, she's very hot.
And the banana peels off of the outer shell like tentacle grab you or whip at you as their attacks. You have to wait until they fold out their like vulnerable inner folds to do any damage to her. And the only thing you can use is the moon blade. She will occasionally pop. Yeah, they sort of slap you. She'll occasionally pop back to the ground, burrow around, pop up. Yeah, with the slappy sound. I think I have a whap to play there. And yeah, that's establishes, yeah, for these like big, this is the mistress. You saw her in the intro cutscene, so she's one of these big old undead types. So presumably that means that you have to make them real extra dead by fighting, I don't know, an embodiment of their soul, ? In the dead realm after you beat their physical human body. So you take her down and you loot her. She doesn't have her outfit on her. She does have several pieces of jewelry. 2 of each, which kind of implies like earrings or something. They look like earrings, but she wasn't wearing earrings as I recall, so but yeah, so we take her down and we go up top, we meet Cockney Orphan, thus begins chapter 3. Boom, done. Let's stop. It's a moment to go over sexism and Orientalism. I haven't been saying the thing they call the assassins when they're not calling them assassins for a reason. They call them dervishes, or derwishes with a W at various points. Now, dervishes are actually Sufi Muslims who have a meditative practice, which does indeed involve spinning as a spiritual practice. The whole description of it is probably beyond the scope of this video. All this just to say that, they first appear in the 12th century. I thought they're also in the 900s. No. Anyway, point is, it is like a religious devotion involving a religious dance. The assassins spin around with their swords, quote unquote, like whirling dervishes, quote unquote. It's terrible. It's dumb. They're all called dervishes. The swords are called dervish swords. I don't know why they made the V's into W's, other than doing a reverse German joke, because it's a German game. So let's take the V's and make them W's. Maybe they were assuming. I don't know. Insert Bavarian motive joke here. And yeah, this just comes to show that, they make a reference. Someone's like, oh, they're so loyal, they throw themselves off a cliff at an order. Orientalism, right, is kind of a quote-unquote European perspective on and misunderstanding of cultures, broadly speaking, to the east of Europe. And this is a great example of it, because they are butchering both the Hashashin, who a slightly less butchered version show up in Assassin's Creed, who are an order of Middle Eastern assassins, and a religious practice that has nothing to do with that. If there was any religious aspect to the Hashashin, or to the assassins here, I would also call it Islamophobic, because they don't. I just think that someone thought of, there, in Guild Wars, there was also a whirling dervish class, oh, you spin around hit people,
It's a thing in D&D too. I've seen it.
Yeah,
in
the
3.5 that it's whirling dervish class.
It is an Orientalist idea that is lodged in someone's head, probably because some idiot wrote a book. Hashashin get misunderstood constantly because a Frenchman wrote a largely fictional book about them. That inspired Assassin's Creed.
God.
Yeah, it's like a bad fantasy dervish idea. So, point is, if you were thinking about doing that,
don't.
Kindly consider don't. Yeah.
Not even kindly consider, just don't.
Simply do not. Desist. The mistress,
Stop
she
considering.
is... Let me see if I can get the human form of the mistress.
I looked for the fucking banana form of her online, and I couldn't find it at all.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna
think
get
the
the
mistress is
banana
pretty-
form, but
I eventually just
so
screenshotted
the
a
mistress,
YouTube
she's
video.
well, it should be said she's serving looks, okay? She's serving looks. She's got the little claw hand gloves.
Okay.
She
Which
is
we like.
so
We do
We
like.
stand.
you might notice that she
I do, at least.
She is not depending on she's not, she's got her hand in a key, not quite a key, I think it's a Malheur style, but in a drawn back style with a ponytail. Wait a minute, Leon, the talking points for the last talk, because oh my, okay, so anything malicious. Only is a bad fantasy dervish. Yeah, I mean, I think that I think that they once heard that a dervish was an Eastern fantasy warrior, and they did a fantasy Venice. They did a fantasy world. I think that a fantasy world, and they just didn't do their due diligence on that one. So yeah, I didn't interpret it as malicious, but it was in poor taste, and one of the reasons I thought about not doing this game. I would just point out that the mistress, there's the regions that the assassins, are the two inspirations, the name and the acts are coming from. Broadly, the acts that are assassins. She looks like she is probably from, a little bit further east than that, because the quote-unquote Grim East and the Orient are treated as one weird, amalgamation. I could buy that the assassins, who we don't see the face of anybody else, are like an international organization, and she's at the head. And she's in Venice doing business and becoming undead with the Doge as the ringleader because he's just like a powerful mover and shaker, and she wants in on that unlife. She doesn't get a name. She's just the mistress. She doesn't get anything that connects the torso bits of her clothes. She's gotta be like that.
She's just double-sided tape and pray. Amen. Me in cosplay.
She's got a wonderful eyeshadow game. The character is not really developed other than she's a mistress of assassins. You fight her.
And then she dies.
She dies.
You take her stuff.
Cool boss fight. They were very horny for a snake form.
I like the snake form a lot because it's
that
sexy.
I can respect.
I think we transition here from the Orientalism to sexism in terms of obviously like some of Scarlett's outfits. We could say they're cutting it close in some regards, and also just what are you doing in others, like the deep V on the back of the leather armor. And I mean, the clothing is like a night out on the town. The context of that's supposed to be someone's dress that college with that is a little weird, but whatever. Here, like, I mean, like her human form and then her demon form, obviously like ultra sexualized. In case you were wondering, snakes don't have booba. I don't think reptilians
But it'd
have
be
booba.
cool if they did. No, reptilians do not have booba. It is called a mammary gland because only mammals have them.
Yeah, so...
Period.
Indeed. But, you know, a horny brain can have what it likes.
Yeah, I mean...
Yes, as long as they don't do it in a sexist fashion.
I ain't hating. Just to say, we don't have many women. We have an entrepreneurial businesswoman. We have adoptive grandma. We have maybe generic townswoman who says something to you. And we have the mistress. And I think that other than the princess who got cut off in the intro, I think that's some total of women who might be characters in this game who aren't. Scarlett? Not bad too great. I mean, they are like, she is in a position of power. The mistress. I think that when you like give her a title like the mistress and put her in that outfit and give her that form, you diminish some of the points I might otherwise give you. Also, like, why is she presiding over an otherwise all-male organization? Maybe I'm just assuming that because they have one set of voice lines and like one like outer body form. You never know because they are wearing some pretty heavy armor. You don't really know what's going on under that. There are some more in the section that we're talking about till the cutoff, Lurb.
I think that's subsequent to Just You Wait. So we have more ladies to look forward to, I guess.
Just You Wait. Oh, yeah. In terms of the outfits. Lurb mentioned that there were going to be quite some outfits coming up. So overall...
Oh, boy.
Oh, joy.
Not a bad video game. Some poor choices got made. It's got a mix of charm and jank.
It sounds very 2009 so far.
Yeah, I think we're 11 minutes left. I think that's the Venetica Midway Chat. I would ask if anybody here has got any questions or things they're looking forward to, or wondering what might come next, or anything that I might have brushed over. You want some more details on? Either Lurb or I will probably be able to magic something up from our memory banks.
I'm drawing a blank. Like I said, it just sounds very 2009s in both the charming way that we remember video games of that era, and also that didn't age that well, did it?
Yeah.
Like, oh god. Let me do a quick Google.
The thing is, both didn't age that well before I probably thought that at the time, yeah.
Yeah.
2009 in many ways.
Yeah, because like Devil May Cry 3 came out in 2005, and like that franchise, I do love it to death. I love featuring Dante from Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry hates women. They did a little bit better with 5, a little bit better than the previous games as a benchmark. But this game sounds like at least some people on the writing team were trying.
Yeah.
And I admire that, because in 2009, That was not an easy thing to try to do.
I think there was effort, and I think that they made a fixed female protagonist video game without making it like, I don't know, I feel like they made a halfway cover. We're like, okay, we're not gonna put her in like a chainmail bikini, but like we are gonna like fashion show it up, and like some of it is not even sexualization so much as like drip, like the default Venetica outfit with like the frilly arms, like yeah, as Lerb and I were saying. Definitely like a night out's attire. Like,
yeah,
it's not. And they even say this offers no protection, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this isn't going to defend you at all." So like,
yeah, no, but
yeah, it
looks cool.
Yeah,
it's one of those designs that I would go, I'd cosplay that.
Yeah, like it's at least it's not like. Someone said, also, this chick looks like someone tried to draw Pat, but sucks at 3D rendering. Oh my god.
Ah! Amazing. Oh, amazing.
Where is that? Is that on Twitter?
No, that was someone DM'd me that one.
Got you. That's great.
Oh, yeah. We have some pictures in GameClub from Lerb. Oh yeah, the mousetrap. Oh, the mousetrap in the sneaky, spooky place. Oh yeah, there's the cutscene with Venetica crossing the fucking Rubicon here. It does like a kind of like a cool moment when you like say you're gonna go to Venice and like it zooms in on her and it's kind of like a bit Pirates of the Caribbean-y. I mean, that armor is
not that bad, honestly.
That's the leather one with the deep V on the back.
Okay. The little, like, crotch bit is a little confusing to me.
Yeah, because I think she got pants on, but then it's like, yeah, what is this, her WWE belt? Like,
yeah. It's a little, like...
The fact that it's got a V on the back is kind of upsetting to me.
Yeah. I kind of want to see that V on the back. I'll just Google it because I don't care about spoilers.
It's in the videos. I mean,
Dude, this shit. All right, this video game is the epitome of I play girls on the on video games because I like looking at their asses.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit more effort to it, and like I appreciate that from them. And to be fair, there are people who still can't make who will try and like give their female protagonists like boyfriends, and the publisher will be like, no, that's gay. You have a boyfriend. Oh.
What?
And like, no, that's literally a reason that you couldn't have a boyfriend when they made Remember. They had to fight for a female protagonist, and that came out, I'm pretty sure, a bit after this. So like, you know, credit where credit is due. They did just decide, yeah, we're gonna have a female protagonist. We're not gonna sexualize her, but we're gonna try and keep it tasteful. And what did they? I don't know about that. I don't know.
There was an attempt.
There was an attempt.
An attempt was made.
And we admire that attempt made in 2009.
We give the E for effort. Oh yeah, the weird thing with the armor is also like it's like the front and back like aren't like it's like a tube top akimbo top where like you see like you could almost see like a bit of the armpit and the booba on this side. But because it's slanting up, it's more visible on the back. Because again, the V on the back isn't centered.
Okay.
What?
I think
How do you not center a V?
It's yeah. I'm gonna be screenshots. I should take more screenshots. I have the stream videos to go take stills of it. Yeah, Venetica. This is the halfway chat. This is a game built around the concept of a fantasy Venice. So what we've basically seen is the D&D character backstory. Right? My village got attacked. I couldn't stay. I got some basic like leather armor and nice sword, and I have my one magic item. And that's me. That's my setup. I'm arriving in the big city. I'm a big city gal. And yeah, that's Venetica. The front on of this expression looks a lot better. I wonder if I can find that. But yeah, the protagonist is pretty good overall in terms of like her dialogue and facial expression. Despite the very beginning damseling her, she cuts out from that basically instantly. Odd, and it shows internal writing dilemmas, and I get the feeling that they might bring that back later. I hope they don't. But overall, I think...
You know what? I would like... This is not going to happen, I guarantee you. But, like, big brain take is, like... She just did that because she was like, oh, maybe I'll pretend to like be all damselly for this dude and then just
Oh, it's just like
not.
it's like a role play thing. It's like
Yeah.
it's
Like
it's
like how do I want to phrase it? Like, this is what is expected of me, so I'm doing it, but like behind closed doors, we're not like that at all.
yeah, no, that's fair. It's like
It's not gonna happen. I know.
yeah, probably not. I think
Beyond a shadow of a doubt,
the
I am
emotional
very
arc
sure.
they've charted for her is just she's been thrust into this, and now the question is just, does she care about revenge or does she care about seeing her boy?
Yeah.
And Beneded, I think we'll get some more cameos. It's 6:56. I'm glad I allotted 2 hours for this and not one, because yeah, this wasn't going to be a 1 hour thing. I don't know what the end talk's going to be like or how long it's going to be. I'll put this up on the YouTube for the VODs channel. And yeah, that was Venetica. If anybody is interested in playing it, who doesn't have access, hit me up. Yeah, Game Club at this point. Oh, I haven't been keeping great track of the weeks, but I think we're spoiler free on like the bit up until you go to a different country right now, Lerb. So I'll get into it after this, and yeah, I think we're gonna call it here at 7 p.m. Eastern, just about. It's been us. It's been Lee, Palace, Pat, Lerb, everyone in the chat.
Tabletop anthologies just go live?
Whoa, for real? Perfect.
Looks
all right.
like.
Beautiful. All right, yeah. Well, let's go fucking hit the TTA boys up /raid tabletop anthologies. Thank you all for coming out, dreamers. Let me know what you think of Game Club. If you think the format could use improvements or changes, or just what you feel about the concept. And after this, we are going to democratically vote on the next game. We're going to have a nominations phase and a voting phase. So if there's any game that you can think of that can run on a lot of different kinds of computers, like probably nothing too modern, something that is either free or very cheap to obtain would be ideal, and something that isn't like Final Fantasy, Witcher 3 length. I think Lerb's going to clock, what, like 30 hours in this, and that's doing all the side content. I think that's an appropriate length for one of these games. 27. Yeah. I'm going to decide a third. Yeah. You finished at 27. Okay. So you're doing like all the side content and going out to kill...
all the things.
Lerb also changed her Discord to say when she was playing this game, she was playing Venetian Side Quest Simulator. You screwed 2 quests. Nice. Yeah, so they cut... I think overall the quests merged well. I will say on the way out, I liked how they tied in all the quests at the beginning area. Where like going to the mine, you'd get the extermination stuff, and you'd find out about the Moonblade, and you'd get the Moon Ore, and it would tie back into stuff you did at the house. It didn't feel like any location was one-off. That's probably in part because like San Pasquale and its surrounding area isn't that huge. I think most of their environment work probably went into Venice. I don't know how well developed the country that you go to is there, but yeah. It was. I think at the end chat, I'll talk more about the level design. What I thought of it. Well, I'll actually mention why, because I didn't learn the issue up until right at the end, so I just didn't feel it. What's up? What's up, Lerb? Hit us with it. So, the classic Lerb. So, you know you're about to lean into a good one.
Yeah.
You need a hammer to do these quests. Oh no, did you sell your hammer?
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
You need to smash some chimneys.
Okay.
Holy shit. But only a certain hammers. Oh no. Did the like
Yeah,
oh
you need big hammer.
did the Mr. did the well I'm just a chimney sweep, and they ain't paid their protection money, Miss Scarlet. Could you go and smash in their fucking chimneys so they won't get any ideas? The chimney sweep union sent you into a kneecap. I mean, solidarity forever.
This is why you unionize. I mean,
This is why you unionize, kids. Get those fucking sledgehammers. What are they gonna do? You're the chimney sweeps. You're up there. Mary Poppins, they ask.
I think that's a great note to end this on.
It is Mary Poppins Day has a great note to end this on. We're gonna rate tabletop anthologies. where I think we should all say Mary Poppins they ass as we enter the chat to just pay that energy forward. This has been Diesel Shot Dreamers, and do drop by the Discord and enjoy more Game Club news, Venetica news. The Discord, subheading Twitch Zone, channel Game Club is where we handle this stuff. So yeah. Fairly well. Stacking up the viewers and pulling my devil trigger.